Hi all, my name is Ravi Shankar. The name of our demo is Go Green by eliminating paper using Google Cloud. Most enterprises have excellent infrastructure with SAP Business Suite to handle core business transactions, that's the handling of the structured data. But the handling of the unstructured data, which includes documents and other paper-based artifacts, are in general not that efficient. And there are excellent products to address this need, but all of them are traditional software with large requirements for hardware, software, and personnel to install and maintain them. So what we're going to demonstrate in this is a way in which you can connect the world of SAP with the Google Cloud to have documents stored effectively and securely on the Google Cloud. In the next 6 minutes, we're going to show the setting up of the connection between the SAP and the Google Cloud and how in 3 simple steps it can be accomplished, and then we'll demonstrate an end user case where a vendor contract can be connected to the SAP vendor business transaction. Now the first step is configuring the SAP system on our smartSTORE. So I log on to the smartSTORE. I have with the admin user ID and for a company. So once a company signs up with our service, they get an access ID and an administrator can sign up, and here the administrator can set up their system. So first thing to be done is to set up or set a new system up. So essentially you can give an ID, system ID, which is roughly the same as the SAP ERP system SID, and then you give what is called as the auth ID, which is essentially saying which kind of that is what is there, and you just add it. And after this, what you do is you need to create what are called as content repositories. Essentially this is where you are actually storing documents, so it's in a way of grouping things in a way. So you click on add and give a name for a repository. Let's call it A8, archive 8 for example, and you give a description, and then you need to give the version of the interface, which is 0046. It's just a technical infrastructure. And then what you need to do right now is essentially now connect to a Google account that you have or you need to create, so that the actual documents get stored on the Google Cloud. So you need to give the Google document user ID, the user's ID, and then the password. So once you give this, what the system is doing is it's trying to authenticate and secure a certificate from the Google Cloud, and once that is done, it says the Google account is created, and the smartSTORE application now knows that the Google ID for which to use. Now we go and set up the repository on the SAP side. So we just did the initial step, and now we connect to the SAP system and log on to an ERP system, an ECC6 based system. So let me just log in there and go to a transaction to create the same repository A8 that we create. So I go here, I click on create, and then I give the same name, repository A8. I give a description. Let's just say A8 or a repository for a smartSTORE, it doesn't matter. And then we choose a document area, which need to be, it's really an archive is the area, and then we need to give the version of the interface that we gave, 0046, and then this is where you give the HTTP server name. So it's essentially what you are saying is you're pointing it to the cloud infrastructure that we have, so smartstore.activeprocess.com, and then you give a port 80 for SSL. You can have another one, and then you give a HTTP script, essentially to let the service know who is the client or who is the tenant that is using it. So once you do this, you click on save, and then you test the connection to make sure that the SAP system can talk to the Google Cloud or our application. And then what you need to do is we need to send a certificate so that these two will talk the same language, and they know that the information that is securely being passed, which is encrypted, can be validated. So I send the certificate from there. Now I need to validate the certificate from SAP onto the application. So I go back, and I have a way to validate it. So I click on the validate application. Now the certificate that came from there shows up here. I as an administrator can view it and then accept it. So once I accept this, the certificate that's from SAP is stored onto the smartSTORE, and both these systems can talk using this certificate, so that all the information that is exchanged is encrypted using this. And I'm just showing where the actual certificate gets stored. I'm logging on to the Google Docs with the same ID that was created with the account that is there, and once I log in there, what I can quickly see is the actual certificate, a physical document that was there, or the digital document gets shown up there. The CN is called ID3 is the actual certificate. Now that's all. 3 steps, connections are all done. So what we need to do, I demonstrate how you can connect a actual transaction. So I'm logging on to a vendor transaction. and then I can go in through the object services and say I want to create a business document, and here I can pick up a document. So in this case a vendor contract, and once I click on that, the actual file is getting stored. At this time what's happening is it's actually sent through the smartSTORE to the Google Docs, and it gets stored there. So now I can retrieve it back if I want, or any other user can retrieve it later on, because the link is maintained in a SAP system. So again, roughly go to the same menu path, and in this case it shows up as an attachment. So I click on this attachment, and then as you can see, the document is getting opened up. So within, as you saw in the matter of 3 or 4 minutes, you're able to connect a subscription based service that allows customers to connect their core ERP systems to the content management system, which is based on Google Cloud. And all the documents that are working on are all securely stored on Google Docs, and we'll see here how the documents are stored. An administrator can always go back and see where the documents are, so that there is no issue with the security or even the high availability of the documents that are there. So you can see the archive A8, and this document that we just sent from there shows up here. I can even open it if I have authorization to do that stuff. So that's our 6 minutes of our time.